Make sure I have this up. Okay. Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about anxiety awareness, and yeah, I didn't really want to make this one too much like a misconceptions type video, because I could just list off like things that people think about anxiety and like why that's wrong, but that's kind of more like a misconceptions video, so I decided to just share. I'm gonna do it kind of like, I don't know, not very edited, minimal scripting, and I'm just gonna kind of talk about how anxiety has affected me and like my journey with anxiety. So I think I'm just gonna kind of like talk. I'm just gonna talk and you guys will hear words come out of my mouth. Okay, so I think there's this misconception or the stigma around anxiety that if your anxiety is bad enough that you can't work or go to school, etc., then that makes you a lazy person, which is not true. I had to take a semester off of college because of my anxiety, because I was transferring anyway, and my anxiety was just so bad that I couldn't go back to college because I would have failed my classes. It would have been really bad, and I didn't want that to happen. So I took a semester off. I did work some, but I'll get to that in a second. But then I went the next semester to a local college, which was better. I still had a lot of anxiety and procrastinated a lot, but it was better than going to the other college that I was going to be going to away from home, where I would have had so much anxiety that I would have failed everything. Yeah, but during that time, the semester that I wasn't going to school, I was working, and even that was really, really stressful, especially since I didn't really like the job that I was at. Just the management gave me a lot of anxiety because they would kind of walk around and I would always have panic attacks whenever they were walking around, etc. And also they had this really strict policy where if you missed like 2 days of work, even for like health reasons, you would be fired. It was ridiculous. And that was like the entire time you worked there. I don't know how they keep employees. But I remember one day I had such bad anxiety, and I thought I was going to be, like, I thought it was bad enough that I was going to check myself in somewhere because I could not deal with it anymore. I ended up not doing that. But I already had so much anxiety I didn't even want to call in. I would have rather just been fired, just not shown up and been fired. But I called in and I just said I couldn't work that day because of health reasons, and they can't legally ask you what health problem, etc. is like making you miss work, because it's against HIPAA, which protects you and your health things. Yeah, but so if you guys are struggling with this and you are struggling at work with anxiety, and you need to take a day off because your anxiety is really bad, depression, any other mental illness, don't feel bad about calling in, because I know I always feel horrible. But don't feel bad. If you need to take time off for yourself, also off of work, off of school, off of anything at all, don't feel bad about it. You need to take care of yourself first. I also think that people who don't have anxiety don't understand how unhelpful the statement "just don't worry about it" is. It's so unhelpful because you can't not worry about it, but it's more than worry, it's pure terror. I've had this happen to me a lot. Not in my immediate family, because my dad has anxiety and he knows what that's like. The other day, I was doing some like roommate assignment thing for college, and I just started freaking out because of like one tiny thing. So I was like, what if this goes wrong? And then I just kind of freaked out and had a panic attack. But it wasn't about that one particular thing. It just started with that one particular thing and then turned into a whole panic attack about really anything. I wasn't panicking about one thing in particular. That thing had just kind of triggered it and set it off. But my uncle was like, well, why are you worrying about this? Worrying isn't gonna help. Just like get over it, kind of like just ignore it and you'll be fine. And my mom was kind of like, well, yeah, don't worry about it. And then I had to kind of explain to them, no, this isn't just me worrying about this one particular thing. This is just me having a panic attack that was triggered by this one thing, and there's nothing I can really do about this except try to calm myself down. Yeah, so I feel like, let me know if any of you have also felt this way. Like it was started by one thing and then it just turned into panic and everyone around you thought you were still panicking about the one tiny thing and they think that you're overreacting and you're like, no, I'm not overreacting. This has nothing to do with this really at all. Also, I don't think people understand that it can be physically exhausting, physically painful to have a panic attack. Especially, at least for me, when I'm dealing with health anxiety or like health related panic attacks. I will panic about usually about like having a heart attack. If my anxiety is already really high, I can start feeling like my chest hurt and I automatically assume that I'm having a heart attack and dying. But that is not the case. It actually is physically painful for me. Yeah. There are also other like physical signs, symptoms, side effects, whatever that word would be, of anxiety. For me, my hair fell out when I was having panic attacks almost every day for months on end. My hair fell out. I was constantly exhausted. It is super exhausting having panic attacks and high anxiety literally all of the time. Your sleeping schedule changes, your eating habits change. For me, I eat all of the food and gain weight. For some people, they eat none of the food and lose weight, and both suck a lot. Yeah. So I think that people don't understand that there is a physical side to anxiety. It doesn't just affect your mind, it affects everything. Yeah. This is kind of, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow with another video, and we can chill, we can hang out tomorrow on another video. Okay, bye!